Hello, and welcome to the Get Real with Jill show. I am your host, Jill Van Duzen. Thank you so much for joining today. I so appreciate it. If you caught my previous episode with my son Kyle about his journey with type 1 diabetes, you know how eye opening it is, that conversation was. Though, even after sharing his story, his journey, I still realized just after all the questions that, which was awesome, I realized how much confusion still exists about diabetes. So, today we are going to clear that up and go deeper into what's really happening with our health. There's type 1, there's type 2, and type 3. So today we're going to be three powerful truths. Diabetes awareness. What you eat today, even if you don't have diabetes, shapes your tomorrow. So there's type 1, type 2, and type 3. What you need to know and why it matters. You have one body. What are you going to do with it? All right, so let's go ahead and get started, because if you don't have diabetes now, how do you prevent from getting type 2 or type 3? So I want to encourage and challenge you to really think about what you're putting into your body, starting right now. You might be eating something right now. What are you feeding your kids, and how seriously are you taking your health? That's the only thing you have right now, really, is your health. So let's start with an example. Think about this and you'll understand why I'm going in this direction. If your child came home and said, "Mom, guess what? I started smoking cigarettes today." Would you say, "That's fine, honey, you look healthy"? No, of course not. But even though they look healthy and may look healthy in a year or two, you think about what happens over time. Cancer, heart disease, all the consequences that come up from that decision. Yet every day, we're quietly doing something similar with food. You may think I'm crazy, but seriously, think about this. The difference, we just don't see the damage right away. Seriously, it comes later. So, what's the difference then? Let's take type 1 versus type 2. What's the difference, right? So I shared the story about my son Kyle's journey with type 1 diabetes. And even after living through it with him, there was still so much confusion out there. So here's what type 1 is. So please listen to type 1. It's an autoimmune disease. The body attacks its own producing insulin cells in the pancreas. Your pancreas doesn't work anymore. Over. End. It's not caused by lifestyle. It's not reversible. It's managed with insulin and daily monitoring every single day. It has become a different lifestyle for somebody. Then there's type 2. This one is different. This is one that can be preventable. Remember, you guys, I am not a doctor though, so please be very cautious of what I'm saying. I'm a mom, I'm a realtor, I'm a host of the Get Real with Jill show. Though I want to really explain the differences of type 1 and type 2 and then type 3. And again, type 1, it's an autoimmune disease. It just attacked the pancreas. Type 2, and you may be doing some things, just like if somebody was cigarette smoking, they don't see it until later. Well, type 2 is preventable and it's even reversible. Again, I'm not a doctor, with some of the right choices. So I'm not talking necessarily to everybody, but a big portion of the population. It happens when bodies stop responding properly to insulin. So this is type 2. You produce insulin, but your body doesn't properly respond to the insulin that the pancreas is producing. Why? Largely because of lifestyle. So, what we eat, how active we are, how much processed, refined food we consume. What are you guys eating right now when you're watching this? Seriously, what are you eating? What did you eat this morning? Nope, come back. Come back. Do not turn this off. This is super important. I am doing this because your health is important to me. My health is important to me. My son's health is important. So I just think it's so important to be educated and aware. So Dr. Mark Hyman, oh my gosh, he's one of my favorites. He also does Young Forever. Great book. And he is quoted, food isn't just calories, it's information. Think about that. Food tells your body what to do. It really does. If you drink alcohol, you more likely are going to get drunk. You can literally program your biology with every single bite you take. He didn't talk about the alcohol thing. I just threw that in. But that's Dr. Mark Hyman, and he is great with a blood sugar solution. So think about it. When people say, oh, I'm fine, I take medication or insulin, that's not fine. So remember, I'm talking about type 2 diabetes. We already talked about type 1. So people think I might still be talking about type 1. Type 1, you have to take insulin. You will die if you do not take insulin. Type 2, people say, oh, that's all right. My doctor, he gave me medicine, so I'm going to be okay. So there's medicine, or I'm taking insulin, I'm testing my blood sugar every day, it's looking fine. You guys, that's not fine. That means the disease is still there. You didn't get over it. It's being managed, but it's not healed. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I do read a lot and educate myself on this diabetes stuff. So every pill or insulin shot is only treating the system. It's not treating the root cause. So, what if instead we focused on health and management plans, on nutrition, movement, and healing from inside the body, healing before the diagnosis? Do you know, let's say, and again, I'm not a doctor, if somebody says you're pre-diabetic or you have type 2 diabetes, just take all this stuff to manage it? Or do you want to go more the healthy part and make changes so that maybe you can get off the meds or never take the meds? So it would be nice to be healing from the inside out before even getting diagnosed. So we're going to go to the foods we eat. Okay, so we already know about cigarettes. You might look fine for a few years, skin is good, teeth is good, but as you know, as you keep smoking, you may not see it on the outside, but the inside is attacking itself. So if your kids come up to you and say, "Hey, guess what? I started smoking," you'd be like, "Absolutely not." So let's think about the foods that we are inhaling, the intake of what we are feeding our body. Remember, the food is information. So we're going to talk about the truth about processed foods. Have you been to the grocery store and saw that chip aisle? So here is the truth, and think about this, and you can get books all on this. Processed foods, the boxed meals, drive-through burgers, frozen dinners, breakfast pastries, oh, sodas and sugary snacks. Like, to me, that sounds awful. To other people, that just might sound like their daily routine. Um, oh my gosh, like, anyway, they're doing the same slow damage to your bodies that cigarettes do to our lungs. Think about that. That's a big aha. So I want you to think about too, what are you feeding yourself? What are you feeding your kids? A treat is something different. I am talking about your lifestyle, the intake of what you are putting in your body. All right. So again, we're still talking about type 2 diabetes. In the old days, people lived off the land, they grew their own food, ate meat without hormones. I mean, think about that? We actually eat meat that have been hormone injected. Seriously, think about that. Nobody thinks about this stuff. They just go to the grocery store and buy. So they ate meat without hormones. Sorry, I'm thinking vegetables from the garden. I've noticed a lot of the younger generations, and I know my niece does this. They're now wanting to really grow. She's super nutritious. She's awesome. She's very health conscious, but a lot of the younger generations are now planting their own gardens. People are now having chicken coops. So it's really kind of cool to see how this is progressing and how people in the younger generation want to take care of themselves. And I'm just hoping smoking kind of goes away too. That would be nice. But again, in the old days, people didn't have meat. People ate meat without hormones, vegetables from the garden, bread made with real grains, not gluten, the sticky stuff. And today we're eating okay, now think about this. Today we're eating products engineered in food factories, not kitchens. Sorry, you guys, I need a sip because I'm talking so fast and I don't want to. So you had your products, your food from the land. Now, when we go into a grocery store, the product that we're picking up is engineered. Let's talk about this. The word engineered in food factories, not kitchens, just like a cigarette is engineered from tobacco and paper. So these so called foods, they're chemically designed for flavor and addiction, not nourishment. That is how they are designed, flavor and addiction. You go in and you get that powdered sugar donut off the shelf that's in a box. And just you eat it and the powdered sugar just kind of goes on your lips and the soft chewy dough. No, you guys, that's an engineered processed food in a plant. Even though I made it look good, sound good, and you probably were there with the powdered sugar on your lips. No, that is not correct. Cheerios, Pop Tarts. Oh my gosh, I used to love to eat brown sugar Pop Tarts. Oh, just stick it in the toaster, pops up. It's a little brown on the brown sugar part. And then you'd sometimes just lick it. I would do that. And then the brown sugar and the meat in the middle. Yummy, right? Cheerios, Pop Tarts, Doritos, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Okay, people can make some really good homemade mac and cheese, but the mac and cheese in the box from Kraft or the other manufacturers, that's not cheese. Don't you open up the powder and you shake it? That is not cheese, you guys. That is created powder. What about gummy bears? We feed our kids gummy bears. I'm not understanding that. Okay. These are not real foods. This is not to blame anybody. This is just to educate. If you want to give your kids some gummy bears once in a while, do so, please. Or a nice little bag of Dorito chips. Yummy. Those are good. Once in a blue moon, a Pop Tart, yes. Though remember, that's addictive and they create the flavor, so you are addicted to that type of food. These are formulas created, built to taste like food, built to taste like food. So here's the question. If you wouldn't let your child smoke a cigarette, why would you hand them foods that over time are destroying their bodies? Just because you can't see it, it's destroying their bodies inside out. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to pay attention to this, I'm just turning you off. This is not to blame. This is to educate. This is just to make you think about things. I love being educated every day on different topics so that I have growth opportunities. I can make changes. I can make changes for my health. That's what I want. My son has type 1 diabetes. That was a wake up call. Educate yourself to prevent some of these wake up calls, please. Okay, so that we talked about type 1, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the body. The pancreas does not produce insulin. You have to manage it for a lifetime. It is not going away. Type 2 diabetes is often very preventable, and there's things you can do to prevent type 2 diabetes and get rid of those processed foods. Look in your cupboard. Tomorrow morning, when you go to make your child's lunch, what is in there? How much of that is packaged food? I remember Kyle's dad would make Kyle lunch, and he literally would have fresh foods, not all the time, but fresh foods in his lunchbox. If we had chicken the night before, he had chicken. If he had ribs the night before, he had ribs. We weren't always perfect, but I will tell you, things changed when our son came home with type 1 diabetes. So You can manage type 2, and this is for yourself. If you look at older people right now, how many of them, when I say older, it could even be 45, 55, 60, that have a hard time walking, have pain at night, can't get up in the morning, their feet hurt. This is all about sugar intake. And then all of a sudden they go to the doctor, and yeah, their A1C might be okay, but there's still aches and pains, and they may be pre-diabetic. This is about a lifestyle change, you guys. This is not about a 1 day change, a week change. This is a lifestyle change. So, for example, for those who smoked, when they quit smoking, they still have the effects of being a smoker. So, they in still 5 to 10 years may develop lung cancer, maybe on an oxygen tank. So, think about what you could do right now to prevent type 2 diabetes right now. Cut out the sugars, cut out the processed foods. Really, this is, it's a lifestyle, it's a change. You are doing something today for a lifestyle change can prevent you from having to maybe wear those socks to with the because you have bad circulation, or you now have type 2 diabetes and you're just putting insulin in, taking the pill your doctor said, but you never decided to manage a different healthy lifestyle. You're still with the same lifestyle, but you're continuing to take in all this stuff that is not helping. It might be helping with you. It's not preventing you from having diabetes, though it might be helping with your insulin levels to keep up with your pancreas because it's not producing enough insulin because you haven't changed your lifestyle. You're now just taking pills to manage it, but you're not changing it. And then you're waking up with bad circulation. You might now start to have wounds on your body. You're not healing correctly. You're not walking correctly. Your legs are swelling. It's hard to sleep. You wake up because of pain. Oh my gosh, I wish I knew the word off the top of my head. But um, so you may have people, your family, this might be them, your friends, and they're just keep eating sugar and sugar. Why? Because sugar is addictive. There's no, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Um, and I really just want to challenge you to, when you go to the store today, what are you buying? Would you literally hand your kid a cigarette? No, because we know about that. Well, we do know about type 2. And now let's talk about type 3. Because if you're somebody that's my age, that's the new buzzword. And if you're younger, trust me, this may creep up on us maybe even sooner than later. All right. So a lot of people are like, well, type 1, type 2. Okay. Well, if you're still not understanding, please get type 1 for dummies. When our son was diagnosed with type 1, I mean, we were just in the education bubble for sure, getting as educated as possible. And I did buy type 1 for dummies. So I'm sure there's a type 2. So I'm wondering if there's a type 3 for dummies. I love those books. Anyway, so type 3, that's the new buzzword. You're like, what the heck? I've never heard of type 3. Well, I didn't until the last, like, I think 12 months. So let's talk about type 3 diabetes. It's a term that has been buzzing again, um, like it's new. It's been around for, I think, like 10 plus years about this type 3 diabetes word. So researchers have used it for years, and it describes a possible link. And again, this is all new stuff, a possible link between insulin resistance and Alzheimer's disease. Now, why is this a wake up call that I'm thinking about? Well, first of all, it's because our aunt, who was only 82, 82, 81, 82, 80, 81, 82, I don't even know. Anyway, somewhere around there. See, I don't even remember. Um, no, Patty, I think is 82. Anyway, long story short, when she was 70, when we look back, we notice now she has Alzheimer's dementia. and it's worse. We're in different stages. And we look back and go, I think this probably happened around when she was 70. 70. Okay, for me, that would be in 10 years. So this is a big, oh my gosh, my son has type 1, our aunt has Alzheimer's dementia, and this new buzzword called type 3 diabetes um, scares me. I will say that. So, what does this do? It basically affects your blood sugar today. So, basically, what affects your blood sugar today could affect your brain tomorrow. So, think about that. What affects your blood sugar today can affect your brain tomorrow. So, when I think about our son having type 1 diabetes and us really changing the sugars, the whole health plan, which was, oh gosh, I don't know, over 10 years ago this happened. So I feel like I'm 10 years ahead of the game because I love my sweets. Don't get me wrong. Well, I don't really anymore, but I did. And it took me a while, but I really don't eat sugars anymore. It's definitely a treat for me. So I feel like maybe I am ahead of the game and not just learning it now. And it is because of our son, Kyle, having type 1 diabetes. So Dr. Perlmutter, oh, I wish I had his book, Perlmutter. He's the author of Grain Brain. I have it on Audible, and it is amazing. So here he says, your brain's density is not written in your genes. It's written in what you eat and how you live. I recommend his book, and we'll put it in the comments section too. So type 3 is a wake-up call that food doesn't just change our waistlines. No, it changes our minds, our memory, and our future. Okay. So I think that's definitely something for you guys to think about type 3 diabetes. I appreciate Michelle. Look at her comment. Stay on the outside aisles. Yes, this is what they say. Stay on the outside aisles when grocery shopping. That's where you'll find the fresh foods. The middle aisles usually have the less healthy options. I'm reading her comment, like boxed, canned, and processed items such as chips and crackers. And this is not to blame our parents, but Michelle, who just made a comment, I remember we used to eat brown bread out of a can and carnation milk mix. Oh my gosh. Um, so, and we loved that brown bread. It was like a treat with veal hot dogs. And then we'd also have TV dinners. If you guys are pulling out a TV dinner tonight, look at the sodium intake, okay? That is manufactured in a plant. So, Michelle, I so appreciate that you put that comment in there. So, you guys, again, type 3 is a wake up call because if you know there's so many people with Alzheimer's and dementia, what are you going to do today, right this moment, when you're going to eat dinner tonight, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're thinking about bringing your kids through Subway or Taco Bell or Jack in the Box, where any of these meals can be made for you in 5 minutes or less? I challenge you, please think about this because you want to prevent, first of all, you want a healthy lifestyle for your kids. You might as well tell them they can start smoking if you're going to feed them Subway all the time. There's a difference between a treat. I'm just telling you that. Um, but you don't want them addicted to these manufactured foods. How are we even talking about this? Manufactured foods. I don't get it. Plus, as a parent, you're like, what are you doing to prevent yourself from future type 2 diabetes and type 3? So that's my concern. I am not worried about me getting type 2 diabetes. I'm concerned about the Alzheimer's dementia, type 3 diabetes. So I know that I, for sure, can make some healthy changes in my life. I do exercise, absolutely, but I so love to socially drink. Happy hour, a good glass of red wine with a great steak. I love going wine tasting. So that is a big aha for me. And then I wonder, why is it after I treat myself socially to that, I feel terrible the next morning? Well, that's a sign from God saying, okay, if you didn't drink, you wouldn't feel so bad. right? So all these foods that you guys have right now that may not be affecting you, they will be tomorrow. So even when we had the Sacramento Real Producers Gala, there was champagne, there was espresso martinis, wine at every table. And I did not drink. First of all, I wanted to enjoy the moment. Second, I want to be healthy. And third, I don't want to feel gross the next day. So, but I know that is my challenge. It's not necessarily the food intake. Okay, but I do want to share one thing with you. And I'll be showing a video in the next couple of days. So, I just finished the Urban Cow half marathon and actually beat my time. It was my personal best, 2 hours, 1 minute, 14 seconds. But the whole point in me telling you this is the entire time I trained, I said at the end, we're going to the Mimosa House, which I love that restaurant, and I'm going to have a waffle with all the syrup and butter. I could, I just wait till you see the video. It's like I am in heaven. Did I have one last year? No, because I didn't do a half marathon. Did I have one 6 months ago? No. But if I'm going to do a half marathon, I so want a treat. I want that waffle with the butter and the syrup. And some of you, that may be a daily routine. So I want to do, this is not a lecture, this is an education. And trust me, Michelle here on this, who's also watching this, who made the comment about the grocery aisles, we would eat M&Ms like there was no tomorrow. All the girls in our family. You put a bowl of M&Ms, our mom, our aunt, Michelle, Deanna, me, bam. And we would eat them all the time. Red vines, bam, we would eat the red vines. But we, as education came, as we got really into exercise, and my sister just finished, I think it was her 12th or 13th marathon, maybe 13th. Crazy. But listen to what she has to say, because she's older than me and she's doing marathons. I'm younger and I'm only doing half marathons. So, anyway, I know I got off the topic. So, thank you for that. But please listen up, because type 2 can lead to type 3. You may even skip type 2 and get type 3, which is Alzheimer's. I don't want that. Do you? It's a big deal. So, here's the challenge. So, today I want to challenge you, please, before you pull through the drive-through or grab that healthy Subway sandwich, healthy, ask yourself, do I really know what's in this? Ask yourself that. Because if you don't know what is in it, the whole package, the bread, the mayonnaise, the pickles, the meat, the cheese, if you really don't know what's in it, I'm not talking about the specific meat. I'm talking about, where did the meat come from? How much of it is meat? The bread, how much of the bread is processed? So go have your Subway, but I challenge you to ask yourself that question. You may know what you ordered, but what's in that order? And is the meat treated with hormones? If you don't know this stuff, maybe just skip that and go to the Nugget or Whole Foods in their natural section. I don't know. But I'm going to also ask you guys, please, please be a role model for your kids. Teach your kids how to read the labels, and it can be so fun. And I've been reading labels too. Well, I obviously, but if there's like more than 3 or 4 ingredients and then I don't even understand them, I'll stop and educate myself to say, okay, is this a good ingredient, a bad ingredient? But if there's a list of ingredients, pass on, and it's probably processed and it's manufactured. So think about that and have a fun time. Have the kids share the ingredients of what they think it is. Make it a game, but be a good role model. Because are your kids constantly saying, I want this? Or at the checkout line when you're at Walmart or Target, you see the Snickers bars, the Milky Ways, the big hunks, the gummies. They have that there for a reason, because it's addictive and they want you to eat it. All right. So just, you guys, start small, one change a day. You create that change. You say to yourself, what do I want to do today? And just do little things every day, because this is about your health, your future, and this is about your kids' health as well. So it's going to take work to be healthy. Absolutely. When there's a challenge, there's a growth opportunity. Without the challenge, we're not making a change. So I do know, though, it does think about this. It takes work to be unhealthy, but it takes more work to be unhealthy. And you know what? In addition to that, the unhealthy people have to really rely on their family. So if they did not take care of themselves, some things God just gives us. That's I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things we can do to prevent. And then when we become unhealthy and we can't walk anymore, or we have to wear the socks and have to have our socks put on every day, or we're in so much pain, we're keeping our spouse up. It doesn't take as much to be healthy. It takes a lot of work to be unhealthy. And you may think, I'm fine. I can eat all the or drink all the Slurpees I want from 7-Eleven. Yeah, I used to drink those Slurpees. I used to bring my son into 7-Eleven, Kyle, and he would like do the blueberry, the cherry, the root beer, Coca Cola one. Oh my gosh, when I think about that, that is terrible. It's like, would you put a big gulp and just pour sugar in it and let your kids eat the sugar? Look at the Twixie Pix or whatever. We used to love those. You guys, that's not healthy. So again, I think our son being diagnosed with type 1, there was a purpose for it. And that purpose was him being healthy. So he's not going to get type 2 or type 3. That's, or hopefully he doesn't get type 3. And then also educating us, his family, about really what we need to be doing, which we started a long time ago. So, what side of the coin do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the healthy side? And yes, it takes work and it takes change. Or do you want to be on the unhealthy side where it takes a lot more work? It's could be a lifetime change, like really living unhealthy and being in pain for a lifetime. And then also having people in your life that are part of it because you didn't take care of yourself. And that's not right. That's not fair. So if you're already on this path, I'm just going to beg you, please don't tune out. Maybe there's a reason you're hearing this. You might be like, Jill, I'm so tired of hearing about the health. But I want to help you. I want to encourage you. This is not to punish. Give yourself grace. This is about the day that God gave us here on earth to take care of the one body he gave us. Yep, even AI cannot give us a new body. Maybe in photos, but he is not going to change. AI is not changing the body, the temple that God gave us. Okay? So please give yourself grace, little adjustments, share those adjustments. Let's encourage people, please. There's a reason why you might be hearing this today. Feel free to share this as well. You may have somebody at home or a friend that might need to listen to this too. So this might be just God nudging you, going, hey, there's a reason why you tuned in today. So take the first step towards change. I promise it will make a difference. It's not going to be easy, but you're not alone, because give yourself grace. Again, like I said, along the way, each day is a God-given day to live with a purpose. And your purpose today may be making a change in your lifestyle so that you do live a healthier lifestyle, so that in turn you can live more for God's purpose of why he put you here on earth. So you guys, I really hope that this message hit home for you, and that this series on diabetes and talking about type 1, type 2, and now type 3. So if you haven't heard it before, you've heard it here. And remember, you have one body, one life. What are you going to do with it today to prevent a long-term effect? Yeah. Hopefully you're not smoking cigarettes. So how are you going to show up today for your children and be examples that they deserve? And after their sports today, do you have a nice home cooked meal, or are you running them through Taco Bell, Subway? What are you doing? So think about that. Or are they off of their sports and are you going to hand them a cigarette? Probably not. You're probably tired of my cigarette analogy, but I think it's a good analogy. So if today's message inspired you, please share this video with someone you love, and just start the conversation and make one small change today. All right. So, if you want to keep learning or you have any suggestions or any guests that you would like to appear on the Get Real with Jill show, please DM me. And I would so appreciate if you could follow me on all my platforms, which is Instagram, here on Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. And I'm at Get Real with Jill on Instagram. So please, 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 I encourage you. I would love it if you would subscribe. You just go in, hit the subscribe button. And if you like my episode today, please give me a thumbs up or any comments is appreciative. Together, we can change the direction of our health. Please, our habits and the next generation. We've got this. We can do this together. All right, you guys, thank you for joining Get Real with Jill. I am your host, Jill Van Dusen. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. And oh my gosh, I have some amazing guests coming up. So please stay tuned for that. It is so exciting. And remember, we never know what people are going through in their lives when you meet them today. We just don't know. And sometimes we might have some craziness, but we still try and have a smile. Or it could just be people are just down. So if you think, oh gosh, that person's acting rude, or they just cut me off, or they're not even smiling, I promise your smile to them will make a difference to you. And there's your smile to them will make a difference. When they smile back at you, I promise you it's going to make a difference in your life. It's up to us to make a difference. We're not here purposely on selfish reasons. God put us here to be outward, to give back to others, to give to others, not just to be inward. So, how are you doing? What are you doing today to be outward to others? So, I hope you enjoyed this video. And wow, it's a beautiful day out, and it's Thursday, October 16th. I will see you next week on the Get Real with Jill show. Okay, that was a lot of talking. Mm. All right, have a great day and enjoy this upcoming weekend.